Gross.
It's time. She's spilling the tea.
This is The Rumor Report with Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
All right, a group of investors have filed a lawsuit against FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried and other celebrities who promoted that crypto exchange, and that's all because, you know, it has collapsed. That's one of the biggest stories that's been out there right now when it comes to crypto. The people who are being sued include Shaq, Tom Brady, Steph Curry, Larry David, and more. So they're saying this whole thing was basically like a Ponzi scheme. Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank and the entire franchise of the Golden State Warriors who appeared in a Super Bowl ad for the exchange. They're being sued because they, quote, controlled, promoted, assisted in, or actively participated in FTX in some capacity.
I don't think that's fair.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, this is why you have to do your due diligence before you endorse things. But, I mean, clearly FTX looked super official, right?
I mean, with all those people, yeah. I don't think that's fair because they paid them to advertise, and I'm sure they gave them shares or whatever it was. And when it goes down, I'm sure they didn't call Steph Curry and be like, pull out now, pause. You know, that ain't right.
You know, remember that kind of happened with the Fire Festival, too. They had all these influencers posting about it. And then when that collapsed, they sued a lot of those ambassadors for the Fire Festival, too.
But that's not fair. They pay you for something that you think is going to happen. You don't know it's going to be, a sham or something that's fake. You don't know that the person is not doing correct business. You don't know that. They're paying you. And there's no way for you to know that, though.
And what's sad about that, if you got by FTX, you blame those celebrities more than you blame the people that are actually behind FTX because you don't really know those people. You just know the celebrity that endorsed it and probably made you want to invest in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with that whole situation, the way that FTX crashed, there was a leaked balance sheet. And it showed that a good chunk of their assets were in tokens that they created themselves. And that's when the investigation went on. And that's when Binance, who was their biggest competitor, announced plans to sell off most of their tokens. That's what caused a huge drop in price. So it's kind of something you couldn't predict happening. And why would they know?
Yeah, that ain't right.
Now, Mowry was on the Today Show yesterday, and she talked about the moment that she decided to end her 14-year marriage with Corey Hart. Here's what she had to say.
My marriage was a success.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Corey some beautiful, amazing children. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation, there's a celebration. So that's basically, how I'm looking at it now. And I feel like people when they look at marriage, that success equals longevity. But no, at the end of the day, are they happy?
Yeah, she's right. That's the most important thing.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, you have to be happy. If you're not happy anymore, something in that relationship is not making you happy, you have to reevaluate the situation.
And for her, it was successful, like she said. And so I'm sure she's still processing things. I'm sure she's been processing things. And it sounds hopeful for the future for both of them to be happy. So that's what her comments were on the Today Show. And
I still think longevity in a marriage equals success if both parties are still happy during that longevity, though.
Yeah, and Charlamagne and I will both tell you it's work. A marriage is work. I mean, you have to work on your marriage and make sure you continue to date and make sure that both sides are continuously happy. And sometimes it's not.
That's all it's about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now let's talk about Jess Hilarious. She was on the Don't Call Me White Girl podcast, and she was talking about, they have a segment on there where you talk about your craziest DM, Dark Side of the DM it's called. And here's what she said.
So this guy's a celebrity.
Blue check in the DM.
Yup, this nigga DM'd me and wanted to fly me out so I could him.
In the ass?
Yes, but not with a dildo. This thought I was a man. He really did think I was he thought I was a transgender. He thought I was
trans. Competition, didn't she?
He was very drunk what he was. What the
very
direct with it. I was
this is crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
If he made the deal seem pretty juicy, let's say you single and you maybe offered you $100,000, would you have put a strap on a ass?
Absolutely. What do you mean?
Oh, wow.
Girl, yeah. I was trying to go find a and it was money involved. I just couldn't find one.
Strap on somebody?
No, I was trying to practice all this. But I think I was more insulted because he thought I was a man. So I was like, bitch.
Wow.
I think y'all missed the bleeper too right there.
Yeah, bleeper too. Well, this is Transgender Awareness Week too, as well. Just want to put that out there. I seen that on Google this morning. When you type in your Google, it pops right up.
First of all, stop playing with my good sister Jess Hilarious, okay? I hate when folks try to say she looks like a man or has manly features. Jess is a beautiful black woman, and whoever hit her up for some ass is an ass for assuming that she's a transgender. How you just going to assume someone's gender identity? How?
Well, yeah, that was her dark side of the DM story.
I hope Jess speaks more to that on the Carefully Reckless podcast that you can listen to on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network. But that's just, you don't assume somebody's gender identity. Is that a question you even asked, though?
Well, she did say she did go to try to find one to actually do that.
I mean, because it was the money that was offered. I think they offered her a nice bag.
I wonder how much you could pay somebody for them to feel like this is worth it.
I thought they said $100,000.
No, she made that. No, Don't Call Me White Girl said, what if it was like $100,000 they offered you? She asked her that, and she said there was money involved. She didn't say how much.
Salute to Don't Call Me White Girl, too. She's highly entertaining. Drop on the clues bombs for Don't Call Me White Girl. And drop on the clues bombs for my good sister, Jess Hilarious. Too highly entertaining.
Absolutely. Shout out to both of them.
All right, well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
All right, we got front page news next. What are we talking about?
Man, with the holidays coming up, this is the time, and we'll talk about some layoffs that are happening. And then we'll also talk about Elon Musk and Twitter and what he is requiring from Twitter employees so that they don't get fired.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.